Hi everyone, I am back with another video. This is the haul. This is the after Christmas haul. The Christmas haul. So this, I've cut my hair. I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. I have cut my hair dead short. This, you probably can guess, is inspired by Steve Harrington. So, now me address the elephant in the room. So, this is my Christmas haul. So this is from my book advent calendar that was 12 days long. Christmas itself, I got everything. I think so. Yes, and books purchased in between most that have arrived. These books are leaning on my leg and it's kind of sore, so lovely. So we're just gonna get started. So some of these I've got books falling on top of me as well now. Some of these you've probably seen. I've reviewed in the past. So, just gonna get started. So, I got Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. So, this is a cowboy romance. I've read this. I loved this. This is from the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I didn't like any of the others, though. So, this is between Emmy Ryder and Luke Brooks of Meadowlark. Yeah. I'm just gonna give a brief synopsis because I've got a lot. Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro and Cornelia Fung. I just call him Del Toro. Del Toro is one of the greatest directors to ever grace this earth. I love him. You'll find out later why. This was one of my favourite films I've ever seen. It's about this little girl called Ophelia, who loves fairy tales, and she meets her stepdad, who's the Spanish captain of the Civil War, and she ends up in this labyrinth. It says, in fairy tales there are men, there are wolves. Men and there are wolves. There are lost girls and dark woods, and the beasts and the magic bugs. I love the fawn in the film. The fawn is gorgeous. Doug Jones, he's an absolute sweetheart. I met him back in October and he's just a lovely guy. We talked about the fawn and we talked about the pale man as well. Then I picked up myself the copy of The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. This is the first one in the Gods and Monsters series. This is the thickest book in the world. It's not. I'm reading a big book now. It's Anna Karenina. So this is about Diana and Caden. And Smeagol. Smeagol is actually the name of the... Is it Smeagol? I think it's Smeagol is the name of the snake that visits the Garden of Eden, if I'm not mistaken. This, I love the first one. It's one of them, a bit like Done and Dusted. Love the first one, hated the second one, never continued on, but works as a very good standalone. But in this one, Smeagol is the world ender. And Diana made a deal with Caden, who's a monster far worse than a nightmare. And she is locked in servitude with him and forced to hunt down an ancient relic. This was really good. It's Enemies to Lovers, I think. The second in the Skyridge Hotshot series, you would have seen the first in another haul. This is Protect. Number 2, this is about Rowan. And Violet. Is her name Violet or Violetti? Violet. So she is a single mum and a nurse in a burns unit. No, that's ironic. And he is a firefighter. So, I love the first one, so I'm excited to read this one. And that's by Paisley Hope. Did Paisley Hope write the first one? I don't remember. Then Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. So this is about Noel Callahan and Harriet York. He's the ghost of Christmas past. And she is technically Scrooge. I love this. This was a 5-star. This had to go in my collection. Did I? Oh, I've not put one of my embossed things in. I need to emboss this one, so let me put this one to the side. Nowhere near. Once there was a bird, tales before it began. So this is by Jane Riordan. So this is the new ones that are coming out for Winnie the Pooh. They've got some gorgeous, stunning end pages though. And that's the front. I love Winnie the Pooh, so this was necessary. I I don't recall ever showing Solita by Lily Mayne. This is an exclusive book with a piece of artwork I cannot show you. So this is from the Smut and Sip. So this is a card with a mocktail on. So, did I tell you what Solita was about? So these are it's about the monstrous boys. So it's Danny and Win. That's all I can tell you. It does not have a synopsis, but I will show you the book. It is a gorgeous edition. Can I show you which end papers? I can show you these ones. I cannot show you the other ones. Yes. It has a lot of, okay, that's all I can actually show you. Can I flip this over and put it in without doing anything? Yes, I can. It's a not safe for work artwork, put it that way. Tim Curry's biography called Vagabond. I like Tim Curry. I like Rocky Horror. So, this is basically a celebration of Tim Curry's life, including Frank-N-Furter, and the testament of his profound impact on the entertainment industry. So this is about Pennywise, King Arthur, Broadway and West End versions of Spamalot, and what it means to be a character actor. I just love Tim Curry. It's not signed. I do have his signature. Then we have Throne of the Fallen by Kerry Maniscalco. I have pre-ordered the third one. So this is why. This is about the Prince of Envy and a fallen painter who's called Camille. And if you know anything about the Kingdom of the Wicked series, you know probably how this will go. So, the Prince of Envy has never claimed to be a saint, but when a cryptid note arrives at his demon court, signalling the beginning of a deadly game, he knows it'll take more than a hint of sin to win. Riddles, hexed objects and anonymous players, well, nothing will stand in his way. Camille is an artist with troubles of her own, and a desperate mistake landed her in the debt of a notorious rake. Threatened with a ruinous scandal, she's forced to enter a devil's bargain with Envy. I love a good devil's bargain. She didn't want Prince Charming, she wanted the demon. Don't we all, love? Never go for the demon. Don't do it. I finally have a hardback copy of Checkmate. This took me ages to find and was bloody expensive and took forever to arrive. So Checkmate is by Ali Hazelwood. It is her young adult debut about Mallory Greenleaf who's done with chess. Every move counts nowadays after the sport led to the destruction of her family 4 years earlier. Mallory's focuses on her mum and her sisters and the dead-end job that keeps the lights on. That is until she begrudgingly agrees to play one last charity tournament and inadvertently wipes the board with a notorious king killer. Nolan... Why is everyone called Nolan? What is it with the name Nolan? Current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. Nolan's losses to an unknown rookie shocks everyone, especially Mallory. What's even more confusing is his desire to cross pawns again. What kind of gambit is Nolan playing? And bleh. The smart move would be to walk away, resign, game over, but Mallory's victory opens the doors to a sorely needed cash prizes, and despite everything, she can't help feeling drawn to the enigmatic strategist. This sounds great, as all Ali Hazelwood books do. Cold Storage by David Coep. David Coep is a screenwriter for Jurassic Park. He wrote Cold Storage, which is being turned into a movie this year. Still can't believe we're in 2026. Starring Joe Keery. I really want to read this. Somehow I ended up with the hardback with the green sprayed edges. This looks really toxic. When Pentagon Bioterror... after the day I've had... Bioterror operative Roberto Diaz was sent to investigate a suspected biochemical attack, he found something far worse. A highly mutative organism capable of extinction-level destruction. He contained it and buried it in cold storage deep beneath a little-used military respiratory. Now, after decades of festering in a forgotten sub-basement, the specimen's found its way out. and is on a lethal feeding frenzy only Diaz knows how to stop. He races across the country with 2 unwitting security guards, great. One an ex-con, the other a single mother. Over one harrowing night, the unlikely trio must figure out how to quarantine this horror. Again. And all they have is luck, fearlessness, and a mordant sense of humour. I love a good dark sense of humour. This is thriller, but this will be a fun one. Anyone like dark sense of humour? I do. I have a dark sense of humour. The 4 Stranger Things book. One Way or Another by Caitlin Schneiderhan. I've butchered her name and I do apologise. So this is Nancy Drew Mystery. I feel bad for calling her that, but... So this follows the events of season 4, where Nancy Wheeler and Robin Buckley are hot on the heels of a new mystery, and they won't stop till they solve it. Hawkins, Indiana, is in recovery. You could say that. It's been 2 months since Vecna's earthquake tore through the town, and its residents are still reeling from the devastation. Nancy Wheeler has spent every waking minute on the hunt for Vecna, but he continues to elude her. How can she head to Emerson for college in the fall if Hawkins is still under the influence of the Upside Down? When fellow classmate Joe Taft starts acting shifty at graduation, do we get to see them graduate? I literally was just talking about this. We never got to see them graduate. Do we get to see them graduate in this book? Oh my god, that's amazing. Nancy is convinced Vecna has found his newest victim, joined by fellow amateur sleuth Robin Buckley. Nancy doesn't waste any time questioning Joey, but what the girls discover leads them down the path bigger than the story than the Hawkins Post has ever assigned Nancy. Why are people around town suddenly getting sick? Oh my god, this is amazing. Why is a strange man tailing Nancy as she investigates? And the most important thing, does this have anything to do with the Upside Down? Together with Robin, Nancy embarks on a dangerous quest for the truth. The deeper the two dig, the further Nancy finds herself drawn into a web of intrigue that threatens to trap her in Hawkins forever. I love the idea of this. This sounds amazing. Oh, it has a different kind of synopsis on the back as well. It says, there was just a scrap of paper half buried in the muck just a few inches in front of her. Nancy almost disregarded it as it shoved herself to her feet. Just a piece of trash, but as she turned her eyes away, a warning bell went off in the back of her mind. It was the same alarm she heard when the report on the strange accident happened across her news desk at the Hawkins Post. The same alarm had blurred ears when Wayne Munson had told her the story of Victor Creel. There's something here. Look harder. Oh my god, that's going to be amazing. I've got to read the others though. I've got other books I need to read before this one. But I really want to read that now. Can we have more Nancy Wheeler mysteries, please? As well. Speaking of that, I've got tinsel on my bed. Sister Imperator. So this is all 4 volumes of this. I think I hauled one volume of this a few weeks ago. Months ago now. But this is the lore of the band Ghost and the Sister Imperator's mysterious origins. So, that's going to be fun. That looks like that's taken from the Foreign Land music video. I'm excited for this. I've got all 4 volumes now, so I can read that. Speaking of graphic novels, Dracula's Brunch Club. You'll find a review on this for my channel. I wanted this. So, this is where he makes jelly donuts. And also it has like a serving thing on that, which is funny. Have you ever wondered how vampires got their taste for blood? In Dracula's Brunch Club, it all started with a crimson red donut, dripping and oozing with spooky secrets. Jelly. Dripping and oozing with non-spooky tasting jelly. Count Dracula is not your average vampire. While he sure is undead, hates garlic and will burn it up in sunlight. But unlike other vampires, he has a knack for baking. And his Brunch Club's famous blood orange jelly donuts. Blood orange is a real thing, by the way. That give his fellow vampires the energy source they need to live forever. When Transylvania experiences a mysterious jelly shortage, it allows his nemesis Constantine, to swoop in and steal the brunch club and the vampire's loyalty from Dracula. But it's not just jelly donuts that are at stake. So good. It was so good. I needed that. I also have a copy of Throne of Secrets by Kerry Maniscalco. This involves the Prince of Gluttony. These are great additions. I hope Throne of Nightmares has the same thing. Don't worry, he drawled. I won't bite until you ask me to. Oh. He's a biter. Self-proclaimed rake of rakes. Lives for indulgence. Gluttony, yeah. But when the hunt takes a deadly turn, he realises something's very wrong with his demon court. With the clock ticking, he must turn to the one person who can uncover the truth, a journalist he spent decades avoiding, Adriana St. Lucent. Gabriel Axton is his name. I have a thing with people called Gabriel, but I'll work past it. Do I save this big one till last? I'm saving that one till last. Get excited. That's the one that fell. Right. I have Let's Split Up and Be Right Back by Bill Wood. I don't want to call him Billy. So Let's Split Up. So this is a thriller. Famous last words with a killer on the loose. It's like Scooby-Doo meets Scream, I think. When the hot-it couple Brad and Shelley are brutally murdered in a manor on the edge of town, a group of friends investigate. A theory spreads around town as fast as the fire on the day of the killings. The old ghoul who haunts the house after his own murder has finally taken revenge. As Cam, Jonesy, Amber and new girl Buffy search for clues, the rumour feels closer to the truth than they ever dared think possible. And as they enter the derelict building themselves, the idea of splitting up to find evidence will prove to be the best or worst decision of all. Then Be Right Back is the sequel. Dude, Step Out Alone. This has like the sprayed edges, which is cool. Enter a Halloween festival where a chilling game of cat and mouse begins. So this is them doing a different one. And there's a third one coming out apparently. So I will be getting that. Then I have Trainspotting by Irvine Welsh. The voice of punk grown up wiser and grown eloquent. I'm going to say this now. I didn't like the movie. I couldn't stand the movie. I was bored. I watched it for film. Yeah. So you're probably wondering, why the hell have you bought it as a book? Well, see, I'm thinking I may like the book. I will let you know if I do. But yes, I hope I like the book. It'd be strange if I did, and then I'd have to go back and watch the movie again. Love to Love You. This is the Steminist novellas by Ali Hazelwood. So you are under one roof, stuck with you, and below zero. I couldn't get the hardback, nor could I get the special edition, so I'm just sticking with the paperback for this version. Then another two in a series of which I've read, Hooked and Scarred by Emily McIntyre. So Hooked, this is the Never After series, by the way. So Hooked is the Captain Hook one, which is James has always had one agenda: destroy his enemy Peter Michaels. When Peter's 20-year-old daughter Wendy shows up in James's bar, he sees his way in, seduce the girl and use her for revenge. It's a perfect plan until things in James' organisation began to crumble. Suddenly he has a traitor in his midst. The plan for revenge gets murkier as James starts to see Wendy as more than just a pawn in his game. And then Scarred is the Lion King edition. So Prince Tristan Fasser was never destined for the throne. That was always his brother Michael. The same brother responsible for Tristan's tormented childhood and the scar that marks his face. It says Mars' face. Is it supposed to say Marks' face? I don't know. This is the international edition. When the father dies, Michael is set to assume the throne, and Tristan is set to steal it. The leader of a secret rebellion, Tristan will stop at nothing to end his brother's reign. But when Michael is new betrothed, Lady Sarah Beatrice? Yeah. Alright, I was looking at another thing with French on it. Tristan finds himself in the middle of a new kind of war, the kind that begs the question, what's more important, the crown or the woman about to wear it? This was my favourite. I love these two. I understand why people fancy Captain Hook now, and I've always loved Scar, so those two make sense. Another one where I liked the first in the series and hated the rest of them, The Fine Print, which is a billionaire, Dreamland Billionaires by Lauren Asher. This just reminded me of building Disneyland, so that's why I loved that one. The last one, you're all gonna probably die of shock when I show you this one. So, remember me saying I like Del Toro? I didn't know this one was actually going to happen. This is the big, massive Frankenstein book. So Del Toro brought out Frankenstein. This is by Sheila Romelli. Oscar Isaac does the introduction and Del Toro does the foreword. This is heavy as sin. So this basically shows you how they made the film. This has some stunning visuals in it. This is so heavy. But, oh my god. This is amazing. Yeah, I didn't know I was getting this at all. This is just a stunning book. I mean, come on. Costumes. Sets. Come on, scenes. Production design, you name it, is all in here. Oh my god, this is gorgeous. I'm a sucker for these kinds of books, as you will find out this year. So, this is my Christmas book haul. I do have a Doctor Who one that I need to do, so you'll probably expect that. That'll be the next one, more than likely. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this. And this has taken like 20 odd minutes. This is unusual lately. But yes. I have to go and find spots for all of these now, so I hope you enjoyed this and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.